Todd Schaller is the new Chief Conservation Warden for Wisconsin's Department of Natural Resources. And Todd, there are so many new rules this year. How are the wardens going to handle enforcing them?
We're really going to focus on education, education before the season, making sure the hunters know the rules going in. And then when we come across situations, making sure we communicate and educate the hunters during those contacts.
And if someone is caught in a violation, I suppose they're going to get a ticket, right?
It really depends, and that depends upon any violation, even laws that have been around for a long, long time. We look at the individual circumstance and situation, and the wardens have discretion on how they need to and want to handle that. Obviously, if there's some knowing and intentional aspect of it, that typically ends up in a citation. But if it's, people make mistakes, we understand that, and we try to address it at the appropriate level.
What do you think might be a problematic new rule that people would have trouble with?
I think that probably the biggest change is the variety of tags that are available. That's going to be a challenge for the hunters to kind of understand. And then this, this private land, public land, going back to the county deer management unit structure. So those are some of the changes that we're focusing on our education with, and those are probably some areas we're going to come across more frequently in the field.
What are you telling people as you're going around the state, conservation groups and others, what are you telling them about the new rules?
The biggest thing is to not look at the state as a whole, to really focus on your individual area that you hunt. Because if you look at that pamphlet and start reading through it and think, oh my goodness, I'll never get my head around this. But if you look down and say, I'm going to hunt in X county and really focus on that, I think the rules are fairly simple. They're new, they're changed, but I think the hunter will be able to get their head around it and understand it.
What are you hearing from hunters about their thoughts or response to the new rules?
I think a lot of them are maybe just first starting to learn them and hear about them, so they're asking questions. We're directing a lot of people to our website. There's a lot of great information out there for people to become educated on. And I think, they look at it holistically, as I mentioned, but I think our focus is get down to where you hunt, and I think they'll have a good understanding.
I imagine the call center is going to be pretty busy with hunters calling in with their questions, but there's also a tip line for DNR, isn't there?
There is a tip line. It's 1-800-TIP-WDNR, and that's the method that any hunter can report a violation that they may see 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year. So we encourage hunters to do that if they see problems or violations out in the field. The other thing it can be used for is if a hunter, makes a mistake and realizes it, and they can call in the hotline and self-report. The fact that that hunter is honest and ethical certainly plays into the final outcome. It's about, the hunters having a positive experience, being part of the management of our deer herd in Wisconsin, having a safe season.